Happy Saturday morning. How you doing? Well, I'm doing this because I kind of forgot about something when I did my Happy Friday Weekend Review Roundup video. I was told this a few days earlier by someone, and I said, "Wow, you know, interesting." Figured I'd throw this out here. And yes, I do. I have a cold, and it's just a cold. I tested. There's been an outbreak in southeastern Massachusetts here and in other parts of New England. A very mild variant of COVID. COVID is still around. It's rampant in the country. It's just been mutating and watered down, if you want to call it that. It's a very mild variant where the worst you get is you feel like you have a cold, if you're in somewhat good health. However, it still is very dangerous for elderly people with respiratory problems to begin with, even young children that have bad asthma, things like that. It still is very dangerous for certain people, groups, certain age groups. One thing we always have around here, plenty of COVID test kits Auntie Billy brings from the hospital, and there are a lot of cases at the hospital. Nobody's dying, fortunately. Just, bad flu symptoms, and that's about as bad as it gets. So, yeah, I was telling Ryan yesterday, when I gave an answer to my friend Jerry up in upstate New York about, the fried rice, why it was that color. I started coughing profusely. He said, "Yeah, I know, it's going around here too, Brian." I said, "Well, my cough is getting so bad, it's taken on a voice of its own. And it's calling people names." You know what I mean? I have no control over it. It's just happening all by itself. So don't get mad at me. Because my cough is, decided to stand up for itself. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. I got wind of something. People know people that know people that know people. This world, I say it's a small world. It really is in a lot of ways. People you would never suspect to know you or me. They're out there. On some random occasion, conversation can start up, a name comes up, and hey, I know that guy. I grew up with him. I used to hang around with him, and a lot of shit comes out. You know what I'm saying? And some people know Sanford. They know me. And others. Sanford's move. He's doing the reverse Jefferson. He's not moving on up to the east side. He's moving on down to the fucking poor side. On a deluxe storage shed in a field. He's moving on down. Anyway, I'll save that for Uncle Brian's Greatest Hits Volume 4 collection, okay? I've been in a good mood all week. I hope you have. Well, apparently, his own explanation was it was costing him $40,000 a year for the lease. And, well, it was a very nice place. Granted, a very nice place. Hallways, offshoot office rooms, and this and that. And a big place. And I believe you pay by the square footage, And I guess he thought that was going to really bump his channel up and it's going to double his income and be able to compensate for it. Well, that didn't happen. His views have been going down and down and down. So we got to a point where he just couldn't afford it anymore. But what I understand is more to it, that even if he could have afforded it, he was going to have to leave anyway because his landlord was not going to renew his lease. He wanted him out of there. As it turns out, Sanford likes to, do videos where he's at a computer and he's looking at other people's cars and he's, picking them apart and criticizing them and critiquing them, you know what I mean? And believe me, Sanford, you're watching, I know you probably are. You are the last fucking person on the face of this fucking earth that should ever even think about opening your big fucking mouth to criticize anyone's car, considering all the fucking junk that you have. I put a pause in here to add some dramatic effect to it. Hoping maybe it sinks into his thick fucking head. Anyway, how they say people that know people that know people? Well, apparently, and this is a fact, his landlord there happens to be very good friends with the guy that owns Maple Motors. I've seen a few of their ads come up for cars. They seem to be, compared to other dealers selling, high-end classic muscle cars and whatnot, I think his prices are pretty good. They're like in the middle of the road. They're not too outrageous in pricing. They may not be pristine concourse cars, but they're good, solid, decent cars. They look good. They run good. Good paint, good interior, good drivetrain. Yeah, you might find a little road chip here or there or something, but it's not really a big deal. Based on the price. You know, uh, I think he has some decent cars there. I've seen a few he's had that he came right out, and I think this is what it came down to on one particular video where Sanford was criticizing a car, calling it a clone. Now they got tribute cars, got that fancy names for saying, listen, I restored a car, let's say it was a Chevelle, it was a base Malibu. Yeah, I put stripes on it, got a cowl hood, put SS badges on it, blacked out the grill. You know what I mean? I turned it into an SS because I like the look, In some cases, would it matter to me if it's not a real SS? Yeah, if it's got a decent big block in it, making some decent power, and it looks like an SS, so what? I got it for half the fucking price. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's not a real SS. I'd be like, so what? So what? I like it. I paid for it. The fuck do you care whether it's a real SS or not? That's how I view it when it comes to these people who are so fanatical. Numbers matching and this and that. That one guy that used to crack me up, that Mark Wormer. I forget the name of his show. Hey, what happened to his daughter, man? She used to be really cute. Holy fuck, she looks like a fucking beer keg with arms and legs, man, and braces. Well, that was the last I saw her. Anyway, as all the women now will pick on me, attack me for being a sexist. Yeah, I'm just stating the fact. Same as Kelly Clarkson, man. That's who? Why are these people letting themselves go like that? But anyway, plenty of guys too. There's guys on here that got more fucking chins than a fucking Chinese phone book, so, I call it fair and square on both sides, you know what I'm saying? And guys with their own, boobs, besides Miss Titty Nipples. That's right, what's going on with him? What's going on? But anyway, well, I guess he had a lot of negative things to say about that car on the Maple Motors video. I could be wrong. I think it was a Super B, a Charger or a Super B. He said, even said Air Brand. The guy even said on the video, the car's been restored to look like a Super B, but it was just a regular Coronet. It started out life as a regular Coronet. The guy was honest about it, and Sanford, kind of trashed it. Well, come to find out, the guy, his landlord at his World Global headquarters, is very good friends with the owner of Maple Motors, and when that happened, his landlord was not too happy that he was, doing that shit to his friend's business, you know what I mean? So word was, even when Sanford's lease was up, whether he could afford it or not, his landlord wanted him out of there. He was like, nah, get out of here. Nah, you're not worth the trouble. And he was not going to renew his lease anyway. So Sanford had no fucking choice. He had to leave there one way or the other, either on his own or he was going to get kicked out the way he got. I kind of heard the same thing about Storage Rocket City too. That's why he had to get out of there when his lease was up. All his tenants, the neighbors around there were kind of fed up with his bullshit too. All his noise, pulling hole shots out there. Leaving junk cars and transmission and shit all over the fucking place. Turned it into a fucking pigsty eyesore, just driving into the fucking complex, if you want to call it that. Walking in on them, intruding on them, trying to reach content off of them when they were doing things. They didn't want to be fucking bothered. And all this fucking noise and all this bullshit. Anyway, that's what came my way. So now, I think yesterday I was even thinking, there was one more thing on my mind. I couldn't think of it at the time. Then it came to me a little too late. Was it to say day late, dollar short? Anyway, now I made up for it. So it got done today and I got my fucking dollar back. Have a great weekend.